Hey friends, thanks for clicking, thanks for caring. This is like my 11th attempt to make this video because uh, the cats keep shutting off the tablet constantly while I try to make this presentation. I wanted to address a topic that I don't like at all. You probably don't either, but just wanted to address it and clarify it and acknowledge it one time, and this is that video. It's regarding the expenses and everything at ChiangMeow and how I'm dealing with them and how much I need help and why do I need help and gosh, I hate that I need help and all that kind of stuff. But please listen to the things that I want to acknowledge and address and clarify, and I appreciate that very much. I guess I'll start by telling you who I'm not. All right, I'm not a politician asking for your money to get elected and then betray you with broken campaign promises. And yet the amount of money that people throw at those politicians is inconceivable. I'm also not a televangelist TV pastor who's brainwashing you into believing that if you send me a check for $10,000 today, all your dreams of prosperity will somehow miraculously come true overnight. And yet the amount of money that people throw at those charlatans is incalculable. I'm not a scam caller from Mumbai asking you to refund $40,000 for an erroneous deposit into your account. And I'm not an identity thief trying to steal your credit card number to buy myself Gucci bags. And yet the amount of money that those scammers cheat people out of is unbelievable. I'm also not a fraud who exploits innocent animals on the internet to scam unwitting, good-hearted people out of money while neglecting, dumping, and even killing the innocent animals after they have exploited them to the fullest extent possible. And as I have warned before, there are people doing this. There are people who have fraudulent entities established where they are getting thousands of dollars from people who think they're doing good, and they're sending it directly into the hands of an absolute demon who has defrauded them and who is torturing and neglecting and even killing animals in order to do it. And it's rampant. There's something even worse than that most people don't know about. In China, they have literally zero animal rights. No laws whatsoever to protect animals of any kind at all. Zero. Well, I'm also not an evil demon in China who tortures helpless animals online in order to sell access to the videos to other demons worldwide. I'm going to do us both a favor and not tell you what they're doing. But I guarantee you that it is exponentially worse than anything you are capable of imagining. And it is real, and it is epidemic, and it is not being stopped. I'm none of those things, thank God. However, what am I? I'm just a hopelessly flawed, inadequate mess of a man who is trying the best he can to live the highest epiphany and principle that he has ever realized, which is to be love and serve life. And I mess up at it all the time. I am eternally imperfect, and I am almost always inadequate. But I don't know anything better or higher that a person can be or do. And this is my flawed and imperfect effort at doing that. I'm a man who has used up 100% of all of the money, savings, wealth, and investment earnings I have ever had in order to build, operate, manage, and perpetuate this cat sanctuary for as many abandoned, injured, elderly, diseased, homeless, at risk, and unwanted cats as I can possibly help. And some of them don't make it. And sometimes I feel directly responsible. And sometimes there's absolutely nothing that anyone could have done. But the great majority of them do make it. And the great majority of them are happy, well-fed, comfortable, and content here. Unfortunately for me, I can't get past the ones that don't make it, and I will never forgive myself for nearly all of them. But as my dear friend Kevin always reminds me, focus on the successes, the victories, the progress, the measurable good that is still resulting from my efforts, even if they are forever imperfect and usually inadequate. But to establish legitimacy, I'm not somebody that just says, oh, somebody give me money to go do this thing that I want to do, but I can't because I don't have any money. I'm not doing that. I've already proven how committed and dedicated and invested I am in this. If you include the remainder of this year, 2026, the expenses of cat rescue and adoption, medical, food, and care for 3 years that I started doing this 3 years ago, the total is $300,000 US. Including the remaining 6 months of this year, it's $300,000 US. I don't really think I have to prove my commitment or my authenticity and sincerity in what I'm doing, but now that's out there. All right. Also, I do not own this sanctuary that has been built. I rent, and I am entirely trusting and entirely dependent upon the landowner and landlord to honor their word and their commitment to allow this place of benevolence and love and compassion to perpetuate, to help as many of the cats in Thailand that can possibly be helped here. And on one hand, it seems like so much to someone who doesn't really know the cat rescue life. And on the other hand, I know places that have more than 2,500 cats that they're taking care of. That's a lot. But I'm just one person doing the absolute most that I possibly can here. This place has been built by God's love and grace with my consent. It has been built through me, not by me. I'm a man that is doing everything I can to ensure that ChiangMeow Cat Sanctuary endures and perpetuates long after my death or demise. I didn't just build this for a little hobby or a pastime to keep myself busy for now. I've built this as a place to be established for countless years to come, to help endless cats in need who are always innocent and are always the product of our own human indifference, apathy, negligence, and cruelty. It is my hope that the landowners' granddaughters will pick up the torch and protect this place when they are the landowners. I'm a man who generates zero profit or income or monetary return of any kind from this sanctuary or my efforts to manage and run it. Zero. And I never have, and I never will. I'm repulsed by that. It's not what I've built here. It's not what has been built here, I should say, and it's not what I do. 100% of any donation that is ever received goes directly toward medical, food, or maintenance. That's it for the cats. Not for me, not for myself, anything. I'm a man that has a great deal of personal dignity, which sometimes gets in the way, but there I am. I utterly despise asking for help, I assure you. I hate it. And more so do I hate the need to ask for help, because in the very beginning, I had the crazy idea that I could do this alone. Quickly learned otherwise. But that's why I'm constantly forced to beg for help and plead for help, which is something that is not really complimentary to my character. but I let that go in order for the cats to get the resources that they need to be cared for. So I have to throw my dignity under the bus constantly, almost every day or two at this point, in order to just keep the cats cared for. All right. I am infinitely, eternally, and immeasurably grateful for the help that a good handful of people have offered, especially recently. But the fact of the matter is, it's only a very small fraction of the actual total expenses that I have to pay, and that will be depleted at some point sooner than I want. 99% of all donations come from people who are not here in Thailand, not living here. The majority from the United States, a few from China, and a couple of them in Europe as well. And you know who you are, and I cannot ever thank you enough. Without foreigners helping, there would be zero donations. Now, I do receive some beneficial help from a couple of local friends. David and Amy, Marion and Tin come to mind. Indispensably, amazingly generous, wonderful local people. But as far as donations, zero come from Thailand. I would say 99.9% don't come from here. There might have been one or two ever, I don't know. Not more than that. So what I'm saying is, it is foreigners who are the only ones that are helping me and upon whom I am entirely dependent. And I say I mean the sanctuary, but I'm running it. And I cannot thank all of you enough. Over the past year, as I've gradually expanded the number of rescues that I've adopted, taken in, financed, or helped in some way, it has taken an incalculable toll on my personal wellness, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. I battle constant fatigue, exhaustion, worry, stress, grief, depression, struggle, and massive, relentless expenses, and a dread of being opposed or targeted by troublemakers looking to ridicule and condemn everything and help never. I grapple with a very deeply entrenched sense of personal failure. Inadequacy and resentment and unforgiveness of myself for the cats that I could not save, or worse, think later that I could have but didn't. And I'll carry that to my grave. That's the way it is. If only I had known then what I know now. If only, if only, if only. It's hard to carry that. But I have ended friendships with people who personally attacked my sanctuary, my dharma, my sacred work, my purpose, and my character, as it directly relates to rescuing and caring for the cats that most everyone else ignores and looks past. Though the rescuing is not about me, and everything I'm addressing here is not ultimately about me, I cannot be separated from it, obviously. And anyone who threatens or hinders or derides my work at this sanctuary is instantly out of my life. No apologies. That's it. My rescues matter to me far more than anyone like that does. When I sensed 3 years ago that I was going to start devoting my life to rescuing as many of Thailand's more than 15 million homeless, abandoned, neglected, and abused cats, I was warned by a woman that I call the Queen of Rescues here. Some know her, Liz. And she said point blank, "Don't do it. It will kill you. I'm much stronger than you are, and it's killing me." And she was not wrong. I have had countless encounters with the infinite abyss of darkness, agony, and loss that she was warning me to avoid for my own good. Each encounter with that dark abyss took another piece of my soul. It has occurred to me several times recently that, in a sense, what I am living for is killing me. Cat rescue life has shown me how strong I am and also how weak I am. Those who have been crushed by grief know what I mean. But there are infinite, homeless, suffering, struggling cats here and everywhere. They are dying by virus, dog attack, traffic accident, lack of urgently needed medical care, and also in many cases deliberate poisonings by evil people who are never, ever prosecuted. Never. Because there is no desire to enforce the laws here that live only in theory on paper, but not in practice and actuality regarding animal rights. But almost nobody is helping these cats. Hearts shut down and go cold the moment there is any inconvenience or cost required to literally save an innocent life, far purer than most realize. Thus, the few of us who are helping are all just like me, perpetually overwhelmed, exhausted, depleted, stressed, broke, and broken. Because 99% of people do not help and do not care. But we can't give up because we care, we love, we serve, and we commit. And we can't stop because stopping means that we surrender their last hope and that we would have to be the ones to turn our backs on the helpless ones who find us, who are their only chance to live, or sometimes to die, but with having been loved at the end, even if it is only for the last breath of their life. And so the process grinds on, but with each day grinding some more of ourselves away with it. 99% of people cannot build a sanctuary or run a rescue shelter or devote themselves to feeding and caring for clouders of homeless cats around their area. And 99.9% don't. Many people won't or can't even adopt a cat. But what they can do is adopt a rescuer. Help the helpers. Help the people who are out there every single day, trapping, rescuing, feeding, hospitalizing, sterilizing, vaccinating, protecting, fostering, rehoming, adopting, caring for, and sacrificing for these innocent and beautiful souls. Be a helper's helper. Be a rescuer's rescuer. Be a healer's healer. Be an angel's angel. You cannot imagine how much your help is needed, I assure you, and how far your help can go for an innocent, suffering, or needy cat. But compassion and caring make no difference as sentiments. They only matter when they are transformed into meaningful action. Now, I've nothing to sell you, and I've nothing to give you. I've devoted my life to being love and serving life the best I can for as many of these pure, innocent, and needy souls as I possibly can for as long as I can. I've clearly demonstrated my consistent devotion in measurable, quantifiable, and verifiable ways. I have all the receipts. Every cent that is donated, as I said, goes to medical, food, and care expenses directly. 100%. And yes, as I said, I have all the receipts, and many of which I've posted. But not to overwhelm you with that, but I have bags and bags of them. I'm actively doing all I possibly can. Actively doing, not just caring or wishing. I'm doing all that I possibly can to give these rescues the best life that is possible for them at an overwhelming cost and detrimental effect to myself. But I have chosen to do this, though I sometimes worry that I cannot keep up. I definitely cannot do this alone. I do my best to trust divine providence in any form by any conduit. Please be a channel of that divinity, a conduit of that providence, and please help me to help them. If not me, choose another rescuer who is doing this same sacred, meaningful, necessary, and relentlessly tiring work, and help them. Thank God for givers. Givers give, and givers know why. Thank you. I'll close with a couple of quotes that I like to remind myself that I'd like to share with you. Hands that serve are holier than lips that pray. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. Who feeds a hungry animal feeds their own soul. Thank you.